It is open phones on open line tonight. It means that you have the floor. I threw out 3 topics and a bonus for you to talk about tonight. We're talking about Kirby Wallace Manhunt that is happening right now. Really scary stuff happening in Montgomery and Stewart County, right on the line right there. Also the Kavanaugh hearings. What did you think last week as you were watching that testimony, and what do you think about the current FBI investigation? Do you think it's really going to get to the heart of this matter? And then also Metro Nashville police officer Andrew Delke charged last week with criminal homicide in the shooting death of Daniel Hambrick. Love to hear your thoughts on that. A big local news story that we will continue to follow here. Maria and Charlie, I know you're on the phone. I'm told that you want to talk about the Kavanaugh hearings. It's what most people have talked about today. I'm going to get to you in just a second, but I want to bring everybody up to speed on the very latest on this. So take a listen.
Thank you. President Donald Trump has authorized the FBI to expand its background investigation into sexual misconduct allegations against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh.
I want it to be comprehensive. I actually think it's a good thing for Judge Kavanaugh. I think it's actually a good thing, not a bad thing. I think it's a good thing.
The FBI has spoken to one of Kavanaugh's 3 accusers, Deborah Ramirez, who says he exposed himself to her at a party when both attended Yale. Senate Judiciary Democrats sent a letter to the FBI Director Christopher Wray and White House counsel Don McGahn requesting all 3 accusers be interviewed, stating, "We ask that you confirm that the FBI background investigation will include the allegations of Christine Blasey Ford, Deborah Ramirez, and Julie Swetnick." The letter also suggests interviews with Kavanaugh and more than 20 others.
We certainly want the FBI to do a real investigation, and we are working to make sure that that happens. It does no good to have an investigation that just gives us more cover.
Senator Lindsey Graham told reporters today 3 people whom Blasey said attended the same gathering where she says she was assaulted by Kavanaugh have been contacted by the FBI.
I don't know what happened to Dr. Ford. I think something did happen to her. But after her testimony, I don't know any more than I did before. He emphatically denied it.
The truth will be uncovered. It must be uncovered before this vote.
The final Senate vote on Kavanaugh's nomination is expected to come near the end of this week after the FBI's report is complete. However, the Senate has already started considering the nomination on the floor. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
This clearly has touched a nerve across this nation, what a lot of you want to talk about tonight. Let's head to Maria on the phone. Maria, thank you for your patience tonight. What is your comment tonight? Maria, you with us?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
It bothers me because they say that it was like a party animal. She went to a lot of parties and she got raped, like she says. But then she said she went to a party and she recognized him and saw a lot of those parties. If she got raped by the same guy, why don't she leave the party and say, no, I want to go home, I want to go home? Why staying there thinking that maybe happen again? Why did she recognize him now, 36 years later? That makes no sense to me. If somebody raped me and in a party and I see him coming, I take off because maybe it happen again. It's kind of in my mind, it can't be happening. And another thing I wanted to say is they have to. That's how we elect Trump, to put somebody in the Supreme Court that is good for America. The Democrats don't want that. So it's very clear that they're doing the best they can to stop the process. Thank you, and I hope you understand my English.
Oh, I do. I absolutely do. Maria, thank you for calling in tonight. I appreciate you hearing. Oh, have a good night. I appreciate it. Let's talk to Charlie now. Hi, Charlie. You're on the line here. It is Open Phones on Open Line. What's your comment?
You talking to me?
I sure am, Charlie. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to know why they keep talking about the judge drinking. They don't never mention that girl drinking. When she hadn't testified, that's the first thing she said. Said she was 14 years old and was drinking at the party. They don't ever mention that. A 14-year-old, it don't take much to make her drunk.
No, I wouldn't think so. But how old was he? I guess about the same, huh?
She says she was 14. I think he was supposed to be 16 or 17. I don't know.
So about around the same age, yeah. Okay.
But they don't ever mention her drinking.
But you just said that she said in her testimony she admitted.
she says she was drinking, but nobody else says anything about it.
You're saying why wasn't she further questioned on it?
She's 14 years old drinking beer. She's probably drunk in the Cooter Brown.
Well, I guess we're assuming a little bit here, but probably. I mean, most 14-year-olds haven't built up a tolerance, I guess, so to speak.
Unless she was used to drinking. She was drunk. One beer would make her drunk, unless she's used to drinking.
Does that change your opinion on whether she could have been assaulted or not?
No, I think the guy's innocent.
Do you think that this FBI investigation will get to the bottom of it?
I think they'll find out the same thing they did in that trial, nothing.
Okay. All right.
All the people, them 3 people she tested, up in her friends, they all said they didn't see anything. I kind of think she was drunk myself.
And hopefully we'll hear. The FBI is supposed to wrap up their investigation by this Friday, so I'm not sure how they plan to, or who will reveal the results of that investigation.
Just the Democrats trying to do the stuff. Because they said before he even nominated who was going to nominate, no matter which one they nominate, they was going to go after.
Yeah, they did say that. All right. Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate you calling in tonight. Have a good one.
All right.
All right. Let's head to Cliff now. He is on the phone with us watching Open Line. Hi, Cliff.
Hey there. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing fine. One of the things that, you talk about forgetting things.
Yes. Help me out here, Cliff.
Keep putting them off. Now, let me make you feel better.
Okay, please do.
All right. Now, remember, this is an election year.
Yes.
Get out there and register and make sure you know where to go to vote.
Yes.
Get up early that morning, take a break at lunch or something other, and go vote. And it means a lot to me and all the other veterans to see people go vote. It's really important.
It is.
And I get on my kids all the time. I said, you didn't go vote. You ought to be put in jail. And I said, whether you vote for me or against me, it doesn't matter. I want you to see what you need to do to keep this country free. And that's all I care about.
Yeah, that's a great reminder. And I do want to say, I think October 9th, so it's coming up so fast, is the last day to register to vote in the November midterm. So
what day?
October 9th is the last day to register.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've been moving into this area from the other part of the state. And that's the reason I need to.
Okay, so you get on. I know you're going to, because I can tell how passionate you are, but you can do it online. You can also do it in person. So
good.
They make it pretty easy. And I know that we actually have a link on newschannel5.com to where you can get that voter form and just get it done.
Well, just remind everybody, just tell everybody to go vote.
Okay, well, you just did. So, Charlie, thank you. Or Cliff, thank you. I appreciate you calling in. Now I don't feel so bad. If you all missed the beginning of the show, our bonus topic, because I just said we have to have something fun and carefree to talk about tonight. The one thing that you have been putting off that you just mean to do, and it just gets to the bottom of your to-do list. For me, this weekend, I picked up my phone and it was doing this hard factory reset. I had not asked it to. It just did it. There was nothing I could do to stop it. And I knew what that meant because I have not backed up my phone since November. That's 11 months ago. Oh, I was just dying because I knew that all of my pictures, and I have 2 little kids, so I take oodles of pictures, they were gone. And I was heartbroken. I started crying, and my 5-year-old said, "Mama, don't cry. It's okay," which made me cry more. And so anyway, and I have no one else to blame but myself, because I am the one who has seen that alert pop up on my phone saying storage is full, cannot back up, storage is full. And I just thought, well, how can storage be full? I paid for extra storage. Something's wrong. I'll get to it later. And later never came. So now I am searching desperately because I'm convinced that these photos must still be in this phone somewhere. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm going to try desperately to find them, even though most people say they're gone. So if you have something that you have been putting off and that you know needs to be done, call in and tell me so I feel a little bit better about life right now and my mistake. And maybe this can just also be a warning for you or a reminder to you to back up your phone. Just do it. I'm going to figure it out after I get off the show about what I need to do to make everything right. So anyway, go do it. If you're at home, know how to back up your phone, go ahead and do it. Let's see. I have Kevin on the line with me tonight. Hi, Kevin. Are you with me, Kevin?
This is Mike.
Oh, Mike, I'm sorry. I wrote down the wrong name. Mike, go ahead.
I just have a comment on the debate the other night with Roy Johnson with Bredesen.
Yep.
And
we had Bredesen. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, with Phil Bredesen and Blackburn. First off, I'm a long resident of the state of Tennessee since 1971. And I do not vote. I do commend Phil Bredesen for, not being defensive when he was attacked by Blackburn, regarding all the repeated mentions of Clintons and Obama and the donations and all that. So he kind of took the higher ground. I don't think either one of them are really going to do anything once they get in the Senate. It's just an illusion of choice. That's what I think. But I do wanted to comment that I think Phil Bredesen was the better person on that debate. He does have some good points. He's got some good ideas. But I don't think anybody that goes to Washington can really do anything because their hands are tied and it's all politics. Nothing ever gets done. Nothing ever gets passed. And people suffer because of it. And, we got all these hospitals that are closing in the rural areas. I actually got a letter from Phil Bredesen when he was governor regarding my business, because I was in the medical business, and with the Medicare, with the Medical Waiver Act that he legislated, was a good thing, and Obamacare really messed all that up. There's things that happen, and if you're a wise person and you see it, you hear the cliche, history repeats itself, and this blah 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 and all that, and nothing ever gets done when people go to Washington.
So it sounds like you have chosen not to vote, just that you have extreme apathy with this process. Is that fair to say?
I've never voted in my entire life.
Why though? Why have you never voted?
I'm 51 years old and I've never voted. It doesn't, the vote should work like this. One person, one vote, and that should be just. That's not the system we have in the United States, especially with the collegiate vote and when the president's running
for the presidential, right?
Right, and people run for office and they promise things and they get in there and they turn out to be liars. There's no difference in my eyes between a politician and a criminal. They're both the same. They're self-serving, and I don't know if anybody has the cojones to stand up and say that, but I will, and I'm very adamant about it. I've seen it. I mean, I've seen it with my own eyes. It's just not something that it's not a good thing to get in office, and you try to do things and then they can't because their hands are tied.
Right.
They got to one
don't
hand
you think that
the other. You don't want to.
I hear that when you say, they promise things and then they lie because they haven't gotten them done, or they can't get them done, or whatever, or they turn around and do something different. Don't you think, when it comes to politics, but also just across this nation, we have made compromise a dirty word? And when politicians compromise or give a little here to get a little here, then it's held against them when it comes to the next campaign.
Well, sure. We've made change a dirty word. Change is not a bad word at all. Change is a good word. Compromise is a good word. Those words have lost their meaning, just like love. When someone first goes out and on a first date, and then a week later, I love you.
Right.
They've just lost the whole meaning of that in my eyes. So people just don't know what the definition is. You look at the every topic that you have in the news right now, the Kavanaugh hearing and the police officer being charged. I agree that he should have been charged with manslaughter. Criminal homicide is a totally different charge. I think Kavanaugh probably shouldn't have been attacked as bad as he has been by the Democratic process with the investigations and all that. They had firsthand knowledge 60 days ago of this woman that accused him, and yet they decided to hold it until the last week, the 11th hour, the Hail Mary, so to speak, of his confirmation. When you have, I'm a businessman, when you have knowledge, especially knowledge that is going to give you an edge, you know, you're going to want to hold that and then make the play at the last hour. And that's just kind of what they're doing. It's dirty politics. But, you know, regardless, you know, who's right or wrong, at the end of the day, it's a big waste of taxpayer money. And, you know, as taxpayers, we pay our taxes for them to do a job. And our job, their job, is to, you know, listen to the people. And you know, the Constitution doesn't give the power to the government. It gives it to the people, and it limits the power of the government. And people forget that, you know.
Yeah, sometimes it feels very flip-flopped.
Yeah, Phil Bredesen said that he's, how did he state it? He said that he's a civics history, when he made
he's a student of civics, yeah.
Yes, yeah. He you know, he's old school. He believes in that, and that's something they just don't even teach in school now.
Yeah.
And I understand completely what that means when he stated that, and I applaud him for taking the high road against Miss Blackburn. Even though Miss Blackburn might get in there and do, you know, something from her past history, it's just, you know, it doesn't look favorable for the residents of Tennessee.
Well, Mike, thank you for calling in and having this dialogue with me. I do appreciate it.
Well, thank you, and you don't forget to do your phone thing.
I know. I'm going to. I promise I'm going to. It's going to go to the top of my priority list now. I'm going to get this figured out. But I hate trying to figure out technology. I've got 2 little ones at home. I can never sit down and have some quiet time where I can just concentrate on it. It just doesn't happen. So it's always at the bottom of my list, and boom, everything's gone now. So I'm told that we need to take a break. I know Linda, Jeff, and a few more are on the lines. We'll get to you right after this. Stay with us.